Mr. Reynolds, what are your views about overpopulation? Do you see it as a real problem?
I think it's a huge problem. I think the growth rate, we just passed 7 billion people and we're going to reach 8 billion before we know it. We're going to start running out of resources to feed all these people. May not happen as much in my generation, but your generation, I think, is going to have to deal with pretty severe consequences.
That kind of leads into my next question. Do you feel like the world can support a fast growing population for very long?
Maybe for the next 50 to 60 years, we'll be okay. But once we get beyond that, if we keep this exponential growth that we've been seeing, then I think we'll have a really tough time supporting it. And then you're going to see some really, really bad things, possibly bad things happen, conflicts over food, stuff like that, that could really be horrible in terms of, death and devastation to populations.
What number do you foresee that happening? Like 9 billion?
That would be, I've heard that being an estimate. I think it will probably happen in certain areas before the 9 billion.
You think Westbrook?
China is already really strained to the resources, and India may end up surpassing China in terms of numbers of people, population, and the resources they have to feed those people are not as great as a lot of other countries in the world. So we may see really problem spots in those areas first.
These areas that China has put a one-child law in the past, and what would be your response to that in America?
I think eventually most of the world's going to have something like that. They're going to have laws enacted that will limit birth rates. People look at it as a kind of a expected privilege now, but in the future it's going to be something where you got to pass tests and all that stuff, to get that privilege. And it's going to turn into more of a privilege, not just a right.
What do you think some other solutions could be to overpopulation?
Solutions, you could look at possibly solutions involving different types of food production, stimulating food production that could feed those numbers of people, so it wouldn't be such an idea. But you also have to take into account where are those people going to live. We're going to live in much smaller places, more high-rise type things. So there are, there's ways to deal with it. I don't know if they'd be what we call preferred solutions, but as opposed to limiting birth rates or limiting the number of people who are alive on the planet at any one time, those seem preferable to me.
I have heard rumors about maybe sending people up to Mars as a possibility. Do you think that could happen anytime soon?
I think we're probably 150, 200 years away from really truly colonizing Mars, because Mars does not sustain itself from a food standpoint. Until we get food growing there, then it doesn't make any sense to colonize it, because we're going to have to make food for them down here and send it up. If we could find some way to stimulate food production there, then yeah, it'd make all kinds of sense. There's a lot of really tough issues to get to that point where we could grow sustainable crops on another planet. In fact, it might be easier on some of the moons of Saturn or moons of Jupiter, but none of them are like Earth, where it's going to be super easy.
All right, well, thank you, Mr. Reynolds. That's all I have for you.
You bet.